In an arid climate where agriculture depends on irrigation and where water can be scarce during parts of the year, the control of a nation's water supply is a big deal. As we know, Pakistan is located within the Indus River Basin. The tributaries that make this river what it is, though, begin in both India and India-administered Jammu and Kashmir. In 1960, India and Pakistan signed the Indus Waters Treaty, which gave India exclusive rights over the eastern three tributaries. Pakistan was granted exclusive control over the three western rivers, the Indus, the Jhelum, and the Chenab. Since Pakistan's rivers flow through India first, the treaty allowed India to use them for irrigation, transport, and power generation, while laying down precise do's and don'ts for Indian building projects along the way. India can use the flow of the river to generate electricity with limited reservoir capacity and flow control needed for feasible power generation. One such project undertaken by India is the Baglihar hydroelectric power project, or more commonly called the Baglihar Dam. Construction began in 1999. Baglihar Dam is located along the Chenab River, one of Pakistan's three. Pakistan had several concerns with Baglihar and accused India of not following the Indus Waters Treaty. Pakistan claimed that some design parameters exceeded what was needable for feasible power generation, and that India would gain an excessive ability to accelerate, decelerate, or block the flow of the river. To this accusation, the Indian Federal Minister of Water and Power threatened to scrap the treaty and deprive Pakistan of water of all Indus rivers. Mediator World Bank was called in to settle this dispute. Professor Raymond Lafitte declared his final verdict in 2007, upholding 3 out of 6 of Pakistan's objections, which would limit some of the flow control capabilities compared to the original design. Baglihar Dam was completed on October 10, 2008, right at the start of the region's dry winter season, Rabi. Pakistan requested that a schedule be followed in order to fill the reservoir slowly so as not to interfere with their water needs. India ignored this request and managed to fill the dam in only 1 month. Withholding water during this season had a significant effect on Pakistan's agriculture, which India blamed on drought conditions rather than their slowing of the river in order to fill their reservoir. Take a look at the satellite image. You be the judge. Positive steps have been made in the time since the issue over the filling of the dam in 2008. In 2010, Jami Ali Shah, Pakistan's Indus Commissioner, told publication The Hindu, "We have resolved the differences in the initial filling of the Baglihar Dam. India gave the assurance that it will be careful in the future, and Pakistan has accepted that in spirit of cooperation and goodwill." Similar concerns, however, have been raised over another of India's projects, the Nimuvazgo Hydro project on the Indus River. In a special report published by the United States Institute of Peace, Danish Mustafa cites no single completed or proposed Indian project on the 3 western rivers of the Indus Basin alone has the potential to significantly limit flows of water to Pakistan. But the long list of proposed Indian projects on those rivers will in the future give India the cumulative storage capacity to reduce substantially water flows to Pakistan during the low-flow winter months. Concern over India's hydro projects is still making headlines today. Just last month, for example, the Senate passed a resolution asking the government to revisit the Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 in order to make new provisions so Pakistan may get more water for its rivers. Independent journalist Syed Kamar Afzal Rizvi writes, "Many in Pakistan accuse New Delhi of wantonly exacerbating the country's dire water shortages, choking its agricultural production, and ruining livelihoods." India's Indus Water Commissioner G. Aranyathan says that after India fills its reservoirs in the initial stages of each project, it only uses the water it needs to run its turbines and doesn't prevent any from flowing into Pakistan. He said, "There's absolutely no question of interrupting or reducing Pakistan's water supply." So what is Pakistan afraid of? Well, in time of conflict, they would be at the whim of a hostile neighbor. Using dams like the Baglihar, India would be able to damage Pakistan's crop production with the flick of a switch. Slowing the flow of water would be devastating. Even more devastating, they could open up their dams and unleash the entirety of their reservoirs and flood the entire Indus River Basin. Worse yet, they could cut off their water supply completely by closing all their dams. Non-availability of irrigation water during Rabi would significantly reduce the yield or may cause complete crop failures. During the winter, water scarcity to this extreme would spell doom for Pakistan's people, agriculture, sanitation, economy, and future. Pakistan is literally depending on their enemy for water.